play a little bit of another cut, and then we're going to kind of come in over top of it.
No problem.
Fortunate this evening to have in the studio with us a phenomenal percussionist, William.
Pleasure to be here.
It is a pleasure to have you here, Mr. Cobb.
It's been too long.
It's been too long?
Yeah. Philadelphia is really a special place. And so whenever I can get here, no matter how long it is, it's always a gift from the gods.
Maybe fast forwarding a little bit to Miles.
What you want to know?
I mean, just that period, and I mean, I guess being a part of some of that stuff that was going on, transitional, stuff that led to the quote unquote fusion era. But Jack Johnson and some of the Get Up With It and some of that stuff. What was that experience like for you, man?
Well, I'll hook that in with the connection back on July the 14th. I had the same dressing room with Herbie. Okay, now, so we started to talk about this one situation that popped up on it was on Jack Johnson, and it wasn't preset. It was the night before we were at Miles's house when we were rehearsing, and Miles said, we got to do this thing for this soundtrack, and I didn't know what it was. It turned out to be Jack Johnson. And I said, okay. And so we were rehearsing, we were playing something. And he said, I want a groove. And he said, play something. So I said, okay, I hope this works, And I started playing. He said, yeah, that'll work. Don't forget it tomorrow. So I said, okay. We got to the studio. And before we could start, we were playing lines and fooling around. All of a sudden, McLaughlin started playing just a kind of a shuffle. And Miles just said, don't play in between takes because I want us to go fast. We don't need to spend a lot of time on this. And so we were standing there. Next thing you know, John started playing this line. It felt so good that Michael Henderson started playing also. It's just a shuffle, a groove. And there was nothing else to do. So it's like idle minds, You got too much time on your hands. Next thing you know, you're getting into trouble. And sure enough, my hands started moving and my feet started moving. And the next thing you know, we were sort of fooling around. And Miles came and said, I told you not to play between takes. So we all stopped. And then about 30 seconds went by, and John went, man, that feels good, man. It's just really light. Just play. He was playing really light. And then Michael said, oh, man, it feels good. And the next thing you know, we started doing it again. I didn't even know I started. It just felt good. Fast forward, the third time, Miles came out and said, I told you not to play between. And by then, it was just rocking. And he went back inside, and he came back out and said, to Tio, he said, red button. And that, we forgot about everything else we were supposed to do by that point. And eyes were closed, and we were rocking. Except for me, I felt like this, like a little small mini cam watching everything happen. And I happened to be in it doing something at the same time because in walks Herbie. And Herbie has a bag of groceries and an LP. And this LP, ironically, as I'm thinking about it, was called Fat Albert Rotunda. And you know who I'm talking about? We were just talking about that.
Of course.
He's in the middle of everything. You know,
Mr. Cosby.
Yeah, and Herbie comes out with this thing, and he comes to give it to Miles, and Miles says, "Play." Meanwhile, Stan Tonkel, the engineer, runs out of the control room because no one is prepared for any keyboards on this. It's not on the date. And in the corner happens to be only one keyboard. It's the dusty Farfisa organ, hadn't been played in, it looked like, since the studio was built, you know. But that's all that was there. There was nothing else there. And Stan is like feverishly trying to find a way to hook this thing up because obviously Herbie has to play on this thing or die. You know, it's like that kind of feeling. And I said, "Boy," you know, and Herbie said, "I can't. Man. I'm double parked. I got these girls. I gotta go home. I just want to give you the record and play." You know. So next thing you know, Herbie's playing on this thing, and when you listen to this record, you'll hear him searching. It's a shuffle. And it's just like da, 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 da. It's very, very cryptic kind of playing until he finally gets it, and finally goes bam, 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 da, 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 da. That was one of the most amazing times I've ever had in the studio.
Wow.
With Dewey, it just all fell together, and it happened to be on a documentary that I don't even know has seen the light of day. Because of its political, the weight of it all. I mean, the whole thing, I think it had a lot to do, J. Edgar Hoover got upset about it, and they just put that stuff away. They took it out of every theater. That's what I heard, every arts theater that was around. Because it was shown at the Little Carnegie in New York, and then all of a sudden, poof, it was gone. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's beautifully crazy.
It really was funny. Just to watch that, to be a part of that was like, get out of here. I don't believe I'm seeing this.
Right.
You know?
Wow. That is phenomenal, man.
The truth is out there. Be aware that what you perceive as the truth may not necessarily be how others perceive it. It's within your perception what the truth is. I believe that in order for me to get where I am now, I had to stumble and make my mistakes and sometimes make them more than once, which made me feel like I was an idiot until I finally got it right. This is the real education, you know. Mom and Dad can tell you until they're blue in the face, this is what you have to do, but you have to do it, and then you'll understand. So you need to just get out there and see for yourself. Don't be afraid to investigate your ideas and your ideals. You'll never lose what you already have. You only add to it.